Welcome to Beauty and the Greek with your hosts Laura and Stavros. Join us weekly as we discuss what it takes to keep your body tuned through all the latest advancements in skincare, fitness, and nutrition, and become the best version of yourself. So grab an espresso and let's get started.
Hello everyone to another episode of Beauty and the Greek. I'm Stavros the Greek and this
Laura the Beauty.
So today we're going to be talking about a very common issue, 5 steps to start your health journey, okay? What are what we think are the first important 5 steps? We're going to keep it simple. We're not going to get too deep and too complex, something that everyone can understand and everyone can do. So are you ready to begin?
Yeah. I feel like most people right away at the beginning find that it's more of a challenge to get started. And we oftentimes get asked, how did we get to where we are today? And I feel like we do need to take a step back and just start with the basics, right? So obviously at the beginning, and you're not used to exercising or your nutrition isn't on par, anything like that, it's hard for you to just jump in and start exercising and doing, like 250 pound squats. You have to start with the basics. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is just the 5 basic steps just to start your journey.
I think that's a great point, because a lot of people get gung-ho about the whole issue of, trying to change their everything, their physique, their health, their beauty, their skin, whatever it is. And they get these New Year's resolutions or whatever it is, and they put too many things all on the plate at the same time. And that's just a recipe for failure, because there's too many things to change, too many things to juggle. The differences from what your current lifestyle is to what you're hoping it will be are opposite ends, alpha and omega. And that's why by February, most people have failed their New Year's resolutions, right? And it's the same repetitive cycle, year after year after year. They're just building the same recipe for failure. So you hit a key point about building the foundations, the simple steps, and then on that, growing and building up the more serious, more compound, more valuable bits of information that'll help people to continue their fitness journey and always grow and become better and better. That's what we're here to do, to discuss how to become better and better and never stop growing in all aspects of your life. So what do you think is the number one in today's society, 2023? What is the number one thing that people lack in terms of the basic fundamentals for starting their health journey?
Yeah, I would say number 1 would be movement. Okay. Absolutely. I feel like in our day and age, we spend a lot of time sitting behind our desks, mm-hmm. or, sitting in our car, driving to work, or on the GO train or whatnot. And, we're not moving our bodies as much as we should. So I would say first and foremost would be that lack of movement, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's starting to exercise. We're not doing it. So, we all have 24 hours in a day. So it's just setting aside, even 20 minutes. Like, what's 20 minutes of your day to actually get up and move?
True. 20 minutes out of 24 hours, even if you're sleeping for the 12, which people don't do. The average person sleeps for about 5 to 6, which is another issue we'll talk about later on. Movement is key. We're always looking, for the easy way out. We'll drive to the convenience store, or we'll drive to pick up the mail, or whatever it is, when we can walk, take the stairs. And let's be honest, in the privacy of our own home, you can listen to that Spotify, you can listen to that podcast, watch that half hour of TV show to laugh and enjoy your day. You can do it while doing some abs. You can do some skipping, some jumping jacks. There's always ways to incorporate it into your daily lifestyle, let alone, set an hour aside or however long you have to do a proper exercise regimen, right?
Yeah.
So you're onto an amazing point, right? I think it's more about incorporating it into our lifestyle. It's a lifestyle thing, rather than saying, oh shoot, the alarm has gone off, I got to do my workout for the day, right? That could happen when you're in the middle of a business meeting. It could happen while you're deep, 5 pages deep into an essay for university. It could be at so many different points of your daily life. And sometimes it's not convenient, let's be honest, right? But there's always opportunity, I think, to add movement to your daily lifestyle?
Yeah, I think it just starts with the basics. So, I mean, I tell our clients, like when we're working and my clients that I actually help with online coaching, that, if you're spending, 6 hours on your computer all day, well, you know what? Every hour and a half, get up. And whether it be just doing jumping jacks on the spot, or like some sort of movement, like even just body weight squats, something just to move your body so that you're not sitting down for those 6 hours straight. Like that would be the basic steps that you would start, just to get that movement onto your body, and just to break it apart, even more mental break too, just to like stop what you're doing, stop your computer work, get up, do, like maybe 5 push-ups, and then go back and continue that email, or go on to your next call or whatnot, right? So there's definitely ways that you can actually start to create, a better life for yourself, and movement would be essentially number one. Now, what do you think would be number two? Well,
I think the biggest failure in people these days, no matter how gun-ho they are about hitting the gym or whatever, going for that walk. Oh, I'm going to buy a dog. We're going to buy a dog to help us to go for walks, to force us to go for walks. It's all great. It's all fine and dandy. But I think everyone knows, abs are made in the kitchen. So if you're sabotaging your exercise, your movement, your blood, sweat, and tears that you pour out into the gym or wherever you are, I think food is the next biggest culprit. I think not only here in North America, the pandemic is happening anywhere in terms of the obesity rates around the world. So would you agree with me?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like, especially with the young kids now, that's what we're starting to notice, is that, look at us when we were growing up, you would see very few kids overweight, right? Whereas now it is a lot more common to see, overweight, obese children. And, it starts at the home, first of all. And, by starting to watch what you're eating and just watch what you're bringing in, as a whole family, it's not even just going to help, like, me, for example, but it's now going to ripple effect to you and the kids, right? Because now I'm more cautious about what I'm eating. So I'm not going to put as much refined sugars, or, going way more carb heavy and lacking protein, but I'm going to start to make more of a focus on, having more protein on my plate, maybe having a little bit more vegetables on my plate and stuff. And that will start to show off on you and the kids, right? So by focusing on nutrition, not just for yourself, but it ends up, like being a ripple effect for your whole entire family.
Correct. I think that's great. What would you say would be the first thing someone can do, like right now, listening to this, hitting the pause button and say, I'm going to make a change? What would you say is the biggest change someone can do immediately right now in terms of food or their diet? What would you say?
I would say first and foremost, just even starting to actually write down, like doing a diary of what you're currently eating too. Just because I feel like a lot of times you're mindlessly eating. So you might be bored or stressed. So you're just grabbing whatever's convenient, not really realizing what you've just consumed. So by actually, using like some sort of app, like MyFitnessPal or some sort of tracker, even just a pen and paper and writing down a note of like, hey, today, this is what I ate for my snack. This is what I ate for breakfast. This is what I ate for lunch. And then actually referring back to that is just a key to you realizing, okay, how much calories I'm actually consuming. That would be like the first step that I suggest for everyone to do.
I think even now as we're speaking, I'm just thinking, people can hit the pause button and just go to their cupboards and be true to themselves and just literally start throwing out the boxes of refined foods, the pre-made foods, the microwavable foods, which are just dead foods, really. It's just calorie dense with zero nutrients in there. And honestly, do a self-check and do a cleanup of their cupboards and closets, right? Therefore, it prevents any temptation while you're bored watching Netflix in the evening. You're going to go munch on something because you're basically bored. You're not really hungry. And it will avoid, just grabbing that snack when you are famished in between, let's say, lunch and dinner. And basically, filling up your tummy with nonsense, right? So I think that would be a key too. People can do that right now. Like you said, start writing and getting a diary, a log of what they're eating, their kids, their significant others, and just doing a cleaning house and getting rid of that stuff, right? So that's it. What is your take on? We touched earlier on the topic of sleep. 24 hours in a day, we all have that. The average person in let's say North America, the normal Americanized world sleeps 5 to 6 hours a day. That's crazy. What do you think? How important is sleep?
Oh, sleep is the key to everything in your life. Our body needs sleep to rejuvenate, to heal. And I find that, we put too much pressure on ourselves, and we start to overwhelm our schedules with, we have to finish this at this time. We have to, be online, especially for us, we're our own bosses, that it's like, okay, well, we should be responding to messages at 10, 11 at night. Like, and you're being put in this, what society thinks is being normal, by only having like 5, 6 hours of sleep, even if that, in order for you to succeed. But how opposite it actually is for your whole entire health and well-being. We need more than that 5, 6 hours of sleep.
Correct. I mean, sleep is what puts you in a parasympathetic stage, so your body can heal, your organs can heal. Like you've touched on articles that you've written before, how your skin will heal. All that healing happens at nighttime, and if your cortisol levels are so high where your brain doesn't shut off, you hit the bed at whatever 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night, and you still can't fall asleep within the first 5, 10 minutes. Your sleep is restless. You're not in that deep stage REM sleep. Your body's not healing, and you get up early in the morning again, 6 o'clock, let's say, you're feeling exhausted, tired. That compounds day after day after day, mind you, the daily stresses, the cortisol levels are high, you're in sympathetic stage from 6 a.m. to basically when you fall back asleep. Your body is basically treading water. There's no forward moment. You're not making any progress in your lifestyle, right? And we all know that cortisol is what builds the fat around the belly, it's a compound effect. One thing leads to another, and those are all key points of how people age faster than what they're supposed to do. Their chronological age might be 35 years of age, but their biological age might be 45, 50. So sleep is key.
Sleep is key. And like you said, even for the skin health, that's where we start to notice, even more of like the dehydration, or like bags under the eyes, like the dark circles, and just that, like, the skin looks aged because you're not getting that adequate rest, in terms of skin. Yeah, our sleep time is exactly when that regeneration happens. So, the daytime, our skin is in fight mode, and it's basically trying to protect us against, the pollution, the UV rays, like dust, grime. So it's basically in that like fight. Whereas sleep time, that's where it's in that rejuvenation, where you kind of put on a thicker serum and thicker cream, because that's going to actually penetrate a lot further into the skin. And that's where you're going to start to see, a lot of the fine lines and wrinkles to become softened, because your body is healing itself and repairing itself and restoring itself. So if you're lacking that sleep, your body is not going to be doing that, and that's where it leads to more of these, not even just skin issues, but overall health issues.
So sleep is important. Sleep is important, and you'll hear a lot of entrepreneurs trying to run their own business, and all to them, they're grinding, they're putting in the hours. That's fine. I'll work a little bit harder, get some more clients or some more business, and it's all good and dandy. But you have to draw the point somewhere. If your body starts to break down because of lack of sleep, and I know what it does. Being ex-military, I know how important sleep is, and the days and nights that you go without sleep, your body starts to hallucinate. Your body starts to see things, and it's just not functioning. The sharpness is not there, and it puts a danger on you breaking down, right? So yeah, sleep is key. I think it's very, how do I say, undervalued.
Yeah.
Undervalued.
Yeah.
What's your take on a simple thing that you said there, dehydration of the skin? What's your thought on hydration, on water?
Oh, Water,
the simplest developments.
The simple, yeah. Water is key to anything in life, but especially when we're starting to talk about creating a healthier version of yourself, right? Water is the foundation. Like, you want to have youthfulness in your life, you need to have water. If you're dehydrated, it will show up not only in your skin, but your whole entire being. Like, everything will become lacking that water, that you will be able to see it.
Yeah,
right?
I think speaking as a physical therapist, water, is important. It's needed everywhere. It's needed in the organs. It's needed in your joints and your cartilages. Over 95, 96% water. Your muscles need it. Conductor for electricity for your nerves. Water is there, and then you start decreasing the levels of water in your body. Certain systems will show the signs first and foremost, right? And we're talking about hydration here. We're not talking about replacing your water with Coca-Cola or replacing your water with coffees, or whatever it is. We're talking pure, simple water, right? So it's valuable. And people, again, simple little things like this, yet unfortunately, people look at the more complicated things, like we started off the show today with, is they get discouraged because they go to they try to chew off a big piece of the puzzle of how to become ageless and fit and healthy and become an overall better person in all aspects of their life. Yet they forget the most simplest of things. We've talked about the sleep. We've talked about the water. We've talked about the nutrition, okay, and simple just movement, right? The body was made to move. It wasn't made to sit behind a desk in a statue-like position for an unnormal position for 10, 12 hours a day, right? So yeah, that's basically it. What do you think the next thing I guess we should talk about is action? How would people incorporate all this that we've talked today, these 4 simple steps? What do you think what would you tell people to start to do?
Yeah, it would be baby steps, like, let's talk about the hydration right away, first and foremost, So something like being dehydrated. Okay, well, let's reverse that by starting to increase your water, So, making sure you have a glass of water a day, especially if you are, someone who is
running an extra glass of water a day.
Yeah, or someone who is running off of just coffee and like Coke, then you know what, as opposed to just running off of that being your liquid in your body, then start to implement a glass of water, and even what I would tell you is to have it first thing in the morning. As soon as you wake up, have that glass of water, right? Your body is crying for that hydration, right? So, and also people that are fueling themselves off of caffeine, you have to remember that, okay, yes, coffee is made from water, but it's changed the formula of what the original water has been. So you need to now, drink water to actually balance that caffeine.
Well, it's a diuretic.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could be drinking all the coffee you want. You're really just pulling water out of your system, right? You're thinking you're hydrating yourself, but you're really not, right? And you're right. People just go to the soft drinks. They go to those caffeinated energy drinks. Because one, they're malnutrition. There's very little nutrients, so the energy levels are low. They're not moving, so their body has become static. Their blood flow has become static. Again, tiredness, lack of sleep, tiredness, lack of hydration. There's no energy. It's like, when you see a river narrowing and narrowing and narrowing, the life of that river starts to die off. The fish start to die off. The less animals come there to drink because the water, as it becomes narrow, it becomes murkier, it becomes more muddied, let's say. There's less life in that water versus something that is a very torrent, powerful river where you find, oxygenation and fish and whatnot. Yeah, it's a great analogy of the human body, right? It's made to move. It's made to be nutritious and full of oxygen and water and all that. So I think, you hit it right. A lot of simple steps that people can incorporate daily. You don't need a master's degree in this. You don't need anything. It's just logical sense. And yeah, people can start that like literally right now as we're even talking here. You can go and grab your glass of water. And I think it sort of scared me when you said that some people that don't even drink a glass of water a day. I thought you were talking about, like adding an extra glass of water to the day. Like, you have your so-called 8 glasses, and you could go to the 9th the 10th, the 11th, and you're going to build up. But to hear that some people don't even drink a glass of water a day, that's just, for me, it's mind-boggling. It's I can't believe that, right? It's nuts.
No.
So
it's the basic steps. So I mean, I would say, first and foremost, start every morning off with your glass of water. Okay, that's your hydration check. Make sure you're doing your daily movement. So you know what, if you're not wanting to start with hitting the gym in terms of weights because you're just not ready for that, that's fine. Start with like a walk, start with some sort of jumping jack, start with some sort of basic movement to split up that sitting down all day. Number 3, start with your nutrition. So again, just like you said, go through your drawers, throw out the stuff that is that boxed dead food, like we called it, and make sure you have foods that are in your fridge and your cupboards and whatnot that are actually whole foods that are nutritious, that are going to fuel your body, that are going to give you energy, right? Mm-hmm. Sleep, like we talked about too, making sure that you're getting adequate sleep. If you're having too much stresses in your life, then start to break it down in terms of like, proper, not even sleep aids, but something that will start to help to relax the body. So, turning off your devices or having a cup of tea, or like me and you, every single night we have a cup of magnesium tea, where it just really helps to calm the body down and prepare it for sleep, right? Yeah. So like, I feel like these are basic for movements and basic things to basically start. And it's simple. And that's the key, that you will succeed, because we're not telling you to go out and start doing, a marathon like tomorrow. No. It's baby steps, right? And if a marathon is your goal, awesome, you will get there. But let's start with these foundations first.
Yeah, we got to succeed at those before we move to the stage 2, stage 3. It's a graduation effect, right? And I think that's what people need to do. And I think the most important thing is just action. You just got to do it. You hear it. You know it yourself. It's not like what we're saying to you is foreign, or what we're saying is completely out of left field, or there's some new scientific research has come out that is, blown the past X number of years out of the water. It's something logical. It's something that's been going on for since the beginning of mankind. These are simple steps, baby steps, and it's just sad to see that in this day and age, where we think, we have the technology in our hand and everything is in our hand on an iPhone, that we've actually progressed to a new level of whatever it is, a progression of humanity, but yet we've forgotten, we've eliminated, we've suppressed the most primitive, the most simplest of things, right? So wonderful chatting with you again. And if people have any questions, they can give us a shout. But honestly, just look deep inside you and you know the truths, and that's basically it. Start with the simple steps and succeed. And we'll be back for another topic.
Yep.
Alrighty?
And you're going to become your best version of yourself. Start with the basics.
That's what we want. Become the best version of yourself in all aspects.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Thank you, Laura.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. If this has resonated with you, can you please do us a favor and give us a 5-star review, share with your friends, and tag us on social. You can also join our weekly SMS list to learn more about how you can reverse the signs of aging. Text AGELESS to 416-628-9879. Ciao for now.